Welcome to Space Age Rabbit, where I dive into forgotten and short lived TV shows. And I also count down the top 10 hits from each year as well. So today I'll be looking at the forgotten and short lived westerns of 1958. And my only requirement was that these shows premiered in 1958. So let's get right to my list. First up, Cimarron City.
It doesn't take long for word to get around the Oklahoma Territory that there's a town right in the middle of it, just busting. Busting with opportunities, cattle, oil, rocks in the ground full of silver or gold. There are all kinds of reasons for a man to wander into our town. And Cimarron City opens her arms to welcome anybody who wants to be a part of her thriving growth.
Cimarron City takes us back to the Old West, where Mayor Matthew Rockford, along with Lane Temple, the town's sheriff, attempts to keep things running smoothly. Well, over at the local boarding house, Beth Purcell keeps an eye on everything that happens around town. The show had no shortage of guest stars, but the time slot wasn't on its side. Cimarron City was an hour-long show and aired opposite two of CBS's biggest hits, Have Gun Will Travel and Gunsmoke. And with that kind of competition, it made it very tough for this show to find an audience. Cimarron City ran for one season, 26 episodes, and aired on NBC on Saturday nights at 9:30 p.m. Eastern.
Here's a little shaver watching a big shaver shave. He's just marking time till he can shave like Dad does. That's Old Spice Smooth Shave Dad's using in the new foolproof pressurized container. You just press a button and out comes rich, velvety lather. Ah, does that Old Spice smell nice? Just look at that fine, full foam.
Next, Yancey Derringer. Yancey Derringer follows an adventurer and gambler who returns to New Orleans in 1868, 3 years after the Civil War. Once a Confederate captain, Yancey comes home to a city that is under Union control and weighed down by loss and uncertainty. Yancey is secretly recruited by the federal city administrator John Colton, a former Union colonel, who hopes that Yancey can help keep New Orleans safe. Colton calls on him whenever trouble brews, and Yancey wasn't above bending the law to make things right. Yancey Derringer ran for one season, 34 episodes, and aired on CBS on Thursday nights at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Next is Northwest Passage. Northwest Passage took viewers back to the days of the French and Indian War. Following Major Robert Rogers and the band of frontier fighters he organized, which included Sergeant Hunk Mariner, played by Buddy Epson, who had just a few years later hit TV gold when he was cast as Jed Clampett in the Beverly Hillbillies. The series was inspired by Kenneth Roberts' 1937 novel Northwest Passage, and also by the 1940 movie based on that same book. The adventures of these men, exploring new territory, battling the dangers of the wilderness, and helping settlers establish new homes, provided the plot lines. Northwest Passage ran for one season, 26 episodes, and aired on NBC on Sunday nights at 7:30 p.m. Eastern.
You know, wherever Peter Pan peanut butter is served, the same thing happens. Everybody has a good word for Peter Pan.
Peanuttiest. Peanuttiest.
That's the good word, peanuttiest.
Next, The Rough Riders.
This is the story of three men who came to be known as the Rough Riders.
The Rough Riders was a Western series set in the years right after the Civil War, a time when the country was still healing and the West was wide open. The show followed three former soldiers, two who had fought for the Union and one for the Confederacy, and the three decided to head west in search of a fresh start. And they may have come from opposite sides of the war, but on the frontier, that didn't matter much. They teamed up for companionship and protection, riding from town to town and taking on whatever trouble or outlaw came their way. The Rough Riders ran for one season, 39 episodes, and aired on ABC on Thursday nights at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. So that's what I have for this video. If you enjoy this video and like this sort of content, please subscribe and thank you so much for watching.
Kraft miniature marshmallows make so many good treats for the holidays, like these after-dinner nibbles, mixed salted nuts, seedless raisins, and Kraft miniature marshmallows, 1 cup of each. Delicious. Tomorrow, pick up a bag of Kraft miniature marshmallows. Remember, Kraft regular-sized marshmallows are available too, and they're wonderful for toasting or as candy.